Welcome back, everyone. Please, before watching this video, make sure to hit the subscribe button and turn on the notification. Trump's lawyer, Your Honor, thank you for seeing us on such short notice. My client, Mr. Donald Trump, has an urgent matter he needs the court to address immediately. Judge Walker, Mr. Henderson, I was under the impression this was a routine status hearing. What is so urgent that it couldn't wait until our regularly scheduled conference next week? Henderson, Your Honor, my client has just been made aware of some highly disturbing information that requires the court's intervention. Judge Walker, sighing, and what information would that be, Counselor? Henderson, Your Honor, it has come to Mr. Trump's attention that there is a concerted effort underway by certain elements within the New York District Attorney's Office to selectively leak confidential grand jury materials related to their so-called investigation of him. Judge Walker, I see. And what proof does your client have of these alleged leaks? Henderson, Your Honor, the proof is in the pudding, as they say. Mr. Trump's team has obtained irrefutable evidence that just yesterday, details of a recent grand jury subpoena were published in a major media outlet. Judge Walker, I'm well aware of the article you're referring to, Counselor. However, as you know, grand jury proceedings are protected by strict rules of secrecy. There's no way to conclusively prove the source of that leak at this stage. Henderson, with all due respect, Your Honor, we believe this is just the tip of the iceberg. Our intel suggests there is a coordinated campaign to systematically undermine Mr. Trump's right to a fair process by selectively revealing confidential information to the press. Judge Walker, and what exactly is it you're asking the court to do about this, Mr. Henderson? Henderson, Your Honor, we are requesting that the court issue an emergency protective order to seal all grand jury materials related to the investigation of our client. We cannot allow these unlawful leaks to continue unabated. Judge Walker, Mr. Henderson, you know as well as I do that sealing grand jury proceedings is an extraordinary measure, one that is rarely granted except in the most exceptional circumstances. What you're proposing is highly unorthodox, to say the least. Henderson, but Your Honor, the sanctity of the grand jury process is being violated here. Mr. Trump's constitutional rights are being trampled upon. We have a sworn duty to protect the integrity of these proceedings. Judge Walker, I understand your concerns, Counselor. However, the court is not convinced that the appropriate remedy here is to simply lock down the entire grand jury investigation. There are established procedures in place to address unauthorized disclosures, which I would encourage your client to pursue through the proper channels. Henderson, Your Honor, with all due respect, your suggestion is woefully inadequate given the gravity of the situation. Mr. Trump's reputation and legacy are at stake here. We cannot allow these malicious leaks to continue poisoning the well of public opinion. Judge Walker, Mr. Henderson, I'm going to have to stop you right there. This court will not be bullied or strong-armed into taking extraordinary measures simply because your client is a former president who doesn't like the way this investigation is unfolding. Judge Walker, now, I understand you feel passionately about protecting Mr. Trump's rights. But the fact is, grand jury proceedings are meant to be confidential for a reason, to protect the integrity of criminal investigations and the safety of witnesses. Broad sealing orders are not something this court hands out lightly, regardless of who the target of the investigation happens to be. Henderson, Your Honor, with all due respect, this is no ordinary criminal investigation. Mr. Trump is a former president of the United States, for God's sake. The stakes here couldn't be higher. Judge Walker, I'm fully aware of Mr. Trump's background, Counselor. But the law is the law, and it applies equally to everyone, even former presidents. This court will not grant your request to seal the grand jury materials simply because your client is unhappy with the way things are unfolding. Henderson, Your Honor, I must protest. This is a gross miscarriage of justice. Mr. Trump is being subjected to an unprecedented and malicious witch hunt, and you're allowing it to happen unchecked. Judge Walker, that's enough, Mr. Henderson. I will not tolerate you disparaging the integrity of this court or the judicial process. If you have legitimate concerns about leaks, there are appropriate avenues to address them. But trying to strong-arm the court into adopting your client's preferred outcome is not one of them. Judge Walker, my decision on this matter is final. The request to seal the grand jury materials is denied. Now, unless you have anything else pressing to discuss, I'd suggest you take your complaints elsewhere. This court has more important matters to attend to. Henderson, you'll be hearing from us again, Your Honor. Mark my words, this is far from over. Judge Walker, I look forward to it, Counselor. Now, if there's nothing else, this hearing is adjourned. Henderson glares at the judge, then gathers his papers and storms out of the courtroom. Judge Walker watches him go, a look of weary resignation on her face. Trump, can you believe the audacity of that judge? She's just as bad as the rest of them, a total disgrace to the judicial system. Cohen, I know, Mr. Trump. It's a real setback. But we can't afford to let this discourage us. We need to regroup and come up with a new strategy. Trump, a new strategy. What we need is to take that judge down a peg or two. Show her who she's dealing with here. Cohen, sir, I really don't think antagonizing the judge is the best approach. That could just make things worse for us in the long run. Trump, worse. How much worse can it get, Cohen? Those vultures in the DA's office are out for blood, and that judge is helping them cover their tracks. Cohen, I understand your frustration, Mr. Trump. But we have to be smart about this. Lashing out and making threats isn't going to solve anything. In fact, it could backfire and give them even more ammunition to use against you. Trump, I didn't ask for your opinion, Cohen. I pay you to find solutions, not give me lectures on how to handle my own legal battles. Cohen, look, all I'm saying is we need to be strategic here. Attacking the judge directly is only going to make her dig in her heels even more. Maybe we should consider a different approach, one that focuses on exposing the leaks and holding the DA's office accountable through the proper legal channels. Trump, proper legal channels. Since when have those ever done me any good? No, this calls for something more dramatic. Cohen, Mr. Trump, I really don't think you should be considering anything reckless or unethical here. We've been down that road before, and it never ends well. Trump, relax, Cohen. I'm not talking about anything illegal. I've got a plan that's perfectly within the bounds of the law. Cohen, okay, I'm listening. What did you have in mind? Trump, how would you like to help me put on a little show for that judge? Something that'll really make her sit up and take notice. Cohen, a show? I'm not sure I follow, sir. Trump, trust me, Cohen. When I'm done, that judge is going to wish she'd never crossed paths with Donald Trump. Special Agent, Your Honor, I'm Agent Harris with the FBI. We have a warrant to search these premises and seize any and all evidence related to the ongoing investigation into Mr. Donald Trump. Judge Walker, what is the meaning of this, Agent Harris? I was under the impression that this was a routine status hearing, not some impromptu raid. Agent Harris, I'm sorry, Your Honor, but we have reason to believe that there has been a serious breach of grand jury secrecy, and we need to act quickly to preserve any potential evidence.